Today, we're diving into a web of intrigue, covering both the iconic symbiotic suit and our new favorite web slinger. We'll uncover how these two elements shake up the Spider-Man universe and discuss their potential in upcoming games. But first, give that like button a quick hit, subscribe, and let's jump right into this thrilling exploration. The symbiotic suit, also known as the Black Suit, is an alien entity that bonds with Spider-Man, significantly altering his powers and abilities. This bonding often provides the host, Spider-Man in this case, enhanced strength, agility, and endurance, along with other unique abilities such as the potential to regenerate and shape-shift. In the game, the symbiotic suit can be designed as a gameplay mechanic that allows players to switch between the regular suit and the symbiotic suit. This switching could potentially alter the player's moveset, abilities, and even some aspects of the game's storyline. For example, the player might become more aggressive and powerful but lose some precision and control. This could introduce interesting gameplay dynamics, with players having to strategically choose which suit to use in different situations. From a game development perspective, this would involve designing two distinct sets of animations, powers, and abilities for Spider-Man. This is a significant effort, but it could pay off in terms of player engagement and satisfaction. The developers would also need to incorporate this feature into the game's story, making sure it makes sense in the overall narrative and adds depth to the character of Spider-Man. In terms of storyline, traditionally, the symbiotic suit often presents a challenge for Peter. It tends to enhance his powers but also dramatically influence his behavior, making him more aggressive and less in control. This could lead to interesting narrative dynamics, with the player trying to leverage the suit's power while resisting its negative influences. When comparing this with other depictions of the symbiotic suit, the portrayal in games often mirrors its portrayal in comics and movies. However, games have an interactive element that other mediums do not. This means that you can directly experience the duality of the symbiotic suit, feeling its power and the challenges it presents, rather than simply observing it. Alright folks, let's talk about the new kid on the block. Miles, like Peter, was bitten by a genetically modified spider, which granted him powers similar to the original Spider-Man, including enhanced strength, agility, and the ability to stick to walls. But he also has a few unique abilities such as a venom blast that can paralyze his enemies and camouflage abilities, allowing him to blend with his surroundings and become virtually invisible. The venom blast is a bioelectric shock that Miles can deliver through his hands to stun and damage enemies. In the game, this power is cleverly incorporated into combat mechanics, allowing players to pull off visually stunning moves and creating dynamic, high-energy fight sequences. It differentiates Miles' combat style from Peter's, leaning more towards raw power and flashy area of effect attacks. The camouflage ability, on the other hand, allows Miles to become temporarily invisible. This introduces a unique stealth element to the gameplay that isn't present in Peter's repertoire. It adds complexity to stealth missions and provides players with alternative approaches to tackling obstacles and enemies. These unique abilities make playing as Miles Morales feel like a completely different experience from playing as Peter Parker. It introduces variety into the gameplay mechanics and offers fresh approaches to combat, exploration, and problem-solving. Looking ahead to future iterations of the Spider-Man game series, there are numerous exciting possibilities for expanding Miles' unique abilities. The Venom Blast, for example, could be developed to have different variations, such as concentrated, single-target shocks or more expansive crowd control blasts. Developers could also introduce the ability to chain or combo these blasts with other moves to create dynamic and complex combat sequences. For the camouflage ability, developers could introduce a mechanic where Miles can interact with the environment or enemies while invisible. This could allow for interesting puzzle-solving elements or unique stealth takedowns. Also, a progression system could be put in place to enhance the duration or speed of his camouflage ability. When comparing Miles to Peter, both characters share many basic abilities common to Spider-Man, such as web slinging, wall crawling, and enhanced physical prowess. However, Miles' Venom Blast and invisibility powers make for different gameplay dynamics. For instance, where Peter Parker's gameplay might lean more towards classic beat-em-up with clever use of gadgets, Miles' gameplay often involves strategically using his unique powers to gain an edge in battles.